Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new podcast series where we will discuss a variety of topics related to cinema and more. If you are a Patreon member of the channel, then you can download an audio version of this podcast at patreon.com and listen to it at your own convenience. My very first guest is a film critic, Sucharita Tyagi. You have seen her reviews on Film Companion under a segment called Not a Movie Review. Through her unique style and content, Sucharita is becoming a distinct voice in the world of Hindi film criticism. If you haven't seen her work, then I highly recommend it. Ladies and gentlemen, Sucharita Tyagi.
Hi.
Thank you very much for coming, first of all. Thank you for
on a
taking your time.
Saturday, can you believe it?
Yeah. I'm really sorry for ruining your weekend.
This is how much I want to be on your channel.
Okay, so let's start with December 2018, 2017.
Yeah.
I remember you were having this chat with Anupama and Rahul.
Straight up, Vinith has called my bluff.
And you said...
10 seconds into our conversation and he's called my bluff. Yes,
you
What
said
did I
that
say?
you said that in next year my resolution would be that I will catch up on all the world cinema this year.
I did one better.
Okay.
I introduced Mubi to the country where everybody can watch world cinema.
But the question is not that everybody is watching world cinema or not. How much have you watched
Please
world
go
cinema?
to Mubi.com and check out what I'm talking about. Mubi.com in India next year. I have not enough. Not nearly enough because I was busy watching Namaste England, Race 3, 2.0 and all other kinds of bad films this year.
Which one has impressed you the most this year?
Bad films?
No, good films.
Good films.
Yeah, all world cinema in terms of...
Yeah, don't call my bluff, yaar, please. Stop. What is this? This is an interrogation or what? There's been... it's been a better year than last, for sure. Indian cinemas and international films also included. And I know you are not very big on superhero films, but it's been an interesting year for that genre also. With Thor came out this year, no, the new one, Ragnarok. Ragnarok was so much fun to watch. Then Infinity Wars was, I guess halfway there. So, there's been better films compared to last year at least anyway. So.
Okay. What do you think? How do you think is getting better in terms of Hindi cinema at least? Like, how are we moving forward? Are we moving forward?
I don't know. See, that's the question. Are we moving forward or not? Sometimes we take two steps, one step forward and two steps back. We have, films like Race 3 still happening very much so. We have, if you see... a few weeks from now, like Simba is going to release, and you see the trailer, and you're like, "Do I really want to watch?" But I will watch, but because it's my job. But
Have you not been a critic? Would you have watched those films? That's the question.
Probably yes.
Why?
Because I just really like the cinemas. I like watching movies a lot. Even before I was a critic, I was watching 2 films a week. Even though it was on a leisurely pace on Saturdays and Sundays, but I was still watching 2 films every week before I was critiquing them. So I probably would have definitely watched the film because I also like to keep up with popular culture. I also don't like to be out of touch. So I want to know what Rich Chetty is doing in Simba, and is the movie really going to be exactly what the trailer has shown us, which it promises to be. Pretty much. So I would have watched the films.
How critique? Like why?
Why movie
film?
critic?
Yeah.
Do you want me to start from the beginning? 1988. It was 20th of July. My mother went into labor.
Not that early.
Okay. Cut to 2015. Cut to 2015. The story here is, I've said this many times before, but nobody really cares for my story, so I'll repeat it one more time. Anupama Chopra had just taken over the Mami Film Festival, the Geo Mami Film Festival, and she had also just begun her Film Companion platform. And because Mami is a proper film festival, the biggest film festival, it requires undivided attention. So Team Film Companion needed somebody who was passionate about cinema, who would continue to talk about the latest releases while the film festival preparations were going on. So somebody on the team knew me, and I was already kind of doing this on the radio. I was watching films and I was talking about them on my radio show. So somebody knew me there, and they called me and they said, "Do you want to give it a shot?" I said, "Sure, why not?" I met Anu. She's lovely. We shot a pilot episode, and we were like, "Yeah, let's do this." You know, it was a gamble. I guess that kind of paid off. An experiment which worked.
It's still working. It's working quite good.
Really? Stop. Thanks.
A lot of people, even on my channel, a lot of people ask me like, what books do I read so that I can analyze this movie? Let me just break it down to people. It's not the books that help you analyze the films. It's actually the study that you do apart from cinema that helps you analyze the film better.
As a human being.
Yeah. So if you only watch films and if you only read about films, then all you will know about is films.
I guess so.
Then the analysis doesn't happen. How can you analyze a film from a Marxist point of view if you don't read up on Marxist communism?
What that is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So read everything. Only then it will help you analyze cinema. However, my question to you is, when somebody asks you, how do I become a better critic, or like, how do I become a film critic?
Yeah.
How does one become a film critic? Because I have no idea how does one.
Dude, I don't know either. Like, I just told you how I began, and that's how I became a film critic.
But in terms of acquiring qualities, what do you think are the qualities like?
You know, I would only talk about myself because I don't claim, like, I'm not a movie reviewer. So I don't claim to be some expert in telling people how to become better movie critics like me. No. I have been watching films jab se mujhe yaad hai. You know, I remember the first Hollywood film I saw was Jurassic Park. I was about, you too. Is that a high five? Let's do a high five. Jurassic Park.
In theater?
No, on VCR.
Oh, I saw it theater.
In India, but I was 5-6 years old then.
Same.
So मेरे parents मुझे theater नहीं ले जाते थे.
My grandfather took me to
So
theater.
cute यार. So 1993 में वो film release हुई थी. India में 94 में आई थी. And we got a VCR version of it at home. And I saw that film, and the music and the creatures and the emotions of the kids and their granddad. And I was just like कहीं पे भी वो Jurassic Park का म्यूजिक चल रहा होता है ना, मैं I'm just transported into another, because that just sucked me and so much into this world that was created in front of me. So I have been loving watching films ever since I remember. And also apart from that, you know, it's also a lot of it also has to do with my personal kind of who I am as a person. I like to read people. I like to talk to people. I mean, even though, like, if you send me to a bar and say, go talk to that person, I won't. I'll stand in a corner and, you know, look at my phone. But, you know, when I'm in conversation with somebody, I want to know about them. I don't know where they're from. So I think that also helps me watch, like, the characters, that the story that's been created, because I like stories. I'm a visual thinker. So when you're telling me your story about, you know, मैं 10 साल पहले यहाँ लंदन गया था और वहाँ पे ऐसे, so I visualize all of that that's happening. So when somebody else is visualizing this and putting it on the screen for me to watch, that is very exciting for me to see someone's visualization of a story. And it's always been like that for me as a person. So I think that also kind of you know, egged me on to vocalize those feelings that I feel about watching films.
But then how do you approach it in a more formal way? Like, you know, it's like a job in a way, right?
Yes. So when it becomes a job is when then there's a deadline to it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take your time कि मैं संडे को देखूंगी और मैं मंडे को डिस्कस करूंगी. वो भी कर सकते हो, तुम्हारी मर्जी है, कोई वो नहीं है. बट फ्राइडे को रिव्यू तो निकालना है. That's when it becomes a bit like a job. That because if you're watching a film, sometimes we get press screenings invites for Wednesdays or Thursdays. Then if it's a Wednesday, then you have a whole day to write about it. But if it's a Thursday, then you only either have that night or Friday early morning. So what I do is I wake up on Friday early morning and I take 3-4 hours on Friday mornings to write my reviews. But a lot of times I put the review out there and then I go back and I think, Yari, I wish I had more time. I would have... एक पॉइंट मिस हो गया, मुझे ये पॉइंट भी बोलना था मेरे रिव्यू में. सो दैट्स व्हेन इट बिकम्स अ जॉब. सो हाउ आई अप्रोच इट मोर फॉर्मली इज दैट आई ट्राई टू pay attention to who's done the cinematography and probably why these kind of shots have gone into this scene while this emotion is being portrayed, that kind of thing. So pay a little more attention to that kind of detailing, I guess.
And how about language? Like
I've always been like this. मैं तो बचपन से मेरे को तो भाषण देने का बहुत शौक है. Get up on stage. Ever since I remember participating in like school activities and dramas and theaters, and I used to read a lot, Hindi books, English books, and because of my training in radio, I did radio for 10 years.
Yeah.
That helped because now I can just talk extempore.
So you took your style, a personal style that was in radio and straight to video, video review.
I took my personality, took it to radio, and then moved it to video. It's taken me some time to adapt it to a video presentation because previously what I was doing was just replicating what I was saying on the radio onto video, which I realized, it's whatever. It's you need to evolve it. So it's taken me some time to get there, but I think I have a pretty good handle on it now. I'm still improving constantly, always.
Yeah, of course.
But I have a pretty good handle on it.
So here's, I go through the comment sections.
Why? On my videos?
On almost the videos that I like. I generally don't comment, but I love to read comments.
Sometimes you comment also. Sometimes you tell people, Bhaiya, what are you saying? But yes, I know. But please don't read my comments. They're not fun.
One thing that I observe a lot, especially in yours and a couple of other YouTubers, I'm not going to name them right now, is that many people go to their content for their style and not for actually what
listening to what the person is saying. Yeah.
And many of your viewers say it out loud. Okay, I'm here. I don't care about the review. I'm here for the style.
Yeah.
Does that bother you in a way?
No, it doesn't. Because it's a whole different conversation about what Indian YouTube is right now and what is the content that is being created on Indian YouTube right now. If you talk to anybody who's working in the social media field as a profession, they will tell you that now people want to connect with personalities. People personalities, not celebrity personalities. They want to connect with who you are, not necessarily with what you are necessarily saying. You have to be an interesting person. Your content is also interesting, but you yourself have to be an interesting person also for people to engage with you. So I am flattered that people engage with me because they think I'm an interesting person and they like to listen to what I say. Having said that, it's directly married to my content because my personality is my content. That is the USP of my product, I feel, is that my reviews are me.
Your extension
It's an extension of my personality, is what I'm saying. So if people are coming to watch me, that's because, it's not two different things. It's the same thing for me. So I guess, I don't mind that. But it works the other way also.
Exactly.
People come to hate on my personality also.
Yeah, but that's not an issue, at least as a viewer for me. What in a long term, what I feel is if people are necessarily coming more for your style and not for your substance, then the problem is style can become as a consumer become stagnant. Like I've seen it enough. Right? How do you
exactly
move on then why should I, if I'm only going for the style and I'm so familiar with your style, then why should I constantly come back to you?
But more and more people are now coming, like
yes, absolutely.
So I'm assuming style तो वही है, मैं तो वही हूँ, but I'm assuming कि कुछ मेरी बातें सुनने के लिए लोग आ रहे हैं. वो तो मुझे, I get some comments, nice people also comment, because the thing with the nice YouTuber watchers is that they don't necessarily comment. It's the trolls that always comment saying you are go away, feminist.
I was listening to this interview by Stephen Fry, and he said he left Twitter because of these trolls and everything.
The Saturday Night Live host, either Colin Jost or Michael Che, one of them, I think it was Michael Che, he said having a Twitter is like everybody in the world has your phone number. Everyone.
Yeah.
It's true. All the messages are coming directly to my inbox.
Exactly.
On my handheld device. So some nice people also but comment saying things like watching your reviews makes me want to go back to the film and read the film again. And has made me
Who do you follow as a critic?
मेरा ना सीन अलग है. मैं किसी क्रिटिक को फॉलो नहीं करती थी पहले भी, ना मैं अभी करती हूँ. मैं हमारे इंडियन फिल्म क्रिटिक्स जितने हैं उनके रिव्यूज मैं पढ़ती हूँ, पर मेरे रिव्यू लिखने से पहले नहीं पढ़ती हूँ. फर्स्ट आई राइट माई रिव्यू, आई फिनिश दैट, देन आई गो ऑन टू रीडिंग Bharadwaj Rangan's review, then I will watch Anu's review, then I will read Rahul Desai's review. I love reading what he writes because he writes so passionately about cinema. Like, I love it. But that is secondary. So I don't really follow anyone in that way. I do my own thing. You know, I'm not a very scholarly movie critic, Yavinit. Sorry to disappoint. I'm not. I've not seen so many like classics, you know, and people are like, you have not seen all the Godfathers? No.
Not even a single.
I mean, like some many years ago, but like.
What do you mean
no.
some? There are only 3.
Yeah, but I think I saw the first one, but I just never went back to watching the second or the third one because I'm like, I've not seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen Game of Thrones. Not one episode. I mean, maybe like 2 episodes. But then I was like, I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah.
Didn't go back.
I saw Game of Thrones only out of peer pressure.
Same. Isaac, देखो तो सही क्या हो रहा है.
Exactly.
Recently, Sacred Games, out of peer pressure. Not out of peer pressure, but I was very curious because it was a very big thing that was happening in Indian kind of popular culture, entertainment space. And like, they have very excited, yes. But I saw a couple of episodes and
There's a very I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but Sacred Games, I loved it when I saw it for the first time.
yeah,
I started watching it again.
yeah,
And then I sort of, personally speaking, I might be wrong.
yeah.
But I sort of figured out the writing pattern in the entire series. So it's very television-esque in a way. So the episode starts with setup.
yeah,
Forget the first episode. First episode is always the setup of the entire thing. So from the second
Season.
episode onward,
yeah,
you start an episode by taking the hook from the previous one. You invest around 5 to 10 minutes of that episode. Then you introduce a new conflict for that very episode. Then you play with that.
yeah,
You resolve that within the same episode.
yeah,
And then you create a hook for the next episode. So that's the pattern they followed in every episode.
yeah, yeah.
So when I was watching second, I'm like, it's so bloody predictable.
Cliffhanger.
And it's so bloody monotonous.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like I was watching one and then he says, apne ko is that entire garbage area. I'm going to anger a lot of writers also. So there's a garbage area he wants to be king of.
Yeah,
Okay. He sets that conflict in that very episode at the very start.
yeah.
Around 15 minutes of the episode. By the end of the episode, he's already king of that garbage. He's like burning on fire. So you introduce the conflict in that very episode and you resolved it already. What am I going to watch in the next episode? Why
Right.
should
so
I follow?
you thought it felt very like
It's like a
sitcom.
stocks. It's like stocks of conflicts and resolution per episode. So
instead of having one like thread.
yeah. So there is a, how do I say it? Like although like in Mindhunters,
Yeah,
although I didn't like Mindhunter post episode 4.
yeah.
Till-
I haven't seen it, so I
Okay.
don't know.
So it's also like that.
Yeah.
So they introduce a conflict in that particular episode and then they try to resolve it
interesting.
over 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But they have 3 to 4 conflicts going on, and some conflicts gets resolved within the same episode.
Yeah.
Some take 2, some take 3, and there is one singular conflict that is over the series. Where over here they have one conflict that is entire series, which is Gaitonde or whatever.
Yeah.
Nawaz's character's
Gaitonde
conflict.
is right. Gaitonde or whatever.
That character and
Yeah.
other conflicts feels like almost they are per episode conflict. So Cuckoo, मेरे को कुकू चाहिए. That's like 3rd episode.
Huh.
He says it at the start. By the end of 3rd episode, he already
He
has
has it.
Cuckoo. I'm like, what the hell?
Wow. Interesting. This has become a movie review for Sacred Games. Hey guys, my name is Sucharita. This is Vinit Masram's Cinema Beyond Entertainment, and right now we are not going to be reviewing Sacred Games.
Yes, yes. So when I restarted it while watching, I said like, oh shit, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I generally enjoy something when I watch it for the first time. I love it.
And then you go back to
and then I
it.
go back to it. I'm like, this is absolute bullshit.
You know, that happened to me while watching Tamasha again.
Really?
I loved it. Okay, I was crying. I was crying. Like Imtiaz Ali took me somewhere else, and I was like, "This is it." And then I saw it again about 2 years after release. अभी उसकी release को 3 ही साल हुए हैं कि 2 साल हुए हैं.
I think
Anyway, so about a year and a half after release, and I was like,
cringy, na?
It's a little heavy-handed, little, but I don't know, maybe.
I've got a lot of requests to analyze that film.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You should do it.
I don't want to do it.
Why not? Because you didn't enjoy it?
I didn't enjoy it.
So then there you go. Then you
at all.
can't analyze it because then your judgment is biased already.
No, I don't think judgment would be biased. Then I would be.
You've made a judgment already.
No, I didn't. I made a judgment on its quality. I understand why people liked it. I totally understand why a lot of people got.
I loved it. Like I was crying.
It feels like the Ved's character is you.
Yeah.
Especially to the millennials.
Yeah.
It's targeted to the millennials' apparent conflict of their personal life. So in a way, it panders to a section of audience.
But I guess when I saw it a year and a half later, I was in a more secure place in my life, and I was like, this guy's an idiot.
Exactly, right?
Cannot relate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas you watch Lady Bird twice, thrice.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel heavy-handed because the conflict of that teenage year's anxiety and indecisiveness and that brutish mentality is handled in such a way that no matter how old you are, you can still relate to it.
And the mother-daughter relationship.
Exactly.
The lack of comfort, but abundance of love. But lack of comfort in that relationship is something everybody will relate with, and that doesn't go away.
Exactly.
You're right.
That's it. Have you seen a movie called Raw? It came the same year Lady Bird came.
No.
It's also a coming-of-age story.
Yeah.
It's a French, Julia or Julie. I can't pronounce her last name. It's
Okay.
French. It's too difficult.
Okay.
It's a coming-of-age film
Yeah.
of a teenage 19, 20-year-old, I think. The only twist is, or not twist, the design principle of the film is that she's a cannibal.
That escalated quickly. What?
Yeah. The entire film is about a coming-of-age story with cannibalism as the backdrop. It's so beautiful. It's the best film, in my opinion, last year.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it anywhere available to watch?
No, I saw it in IFFI
I see.
last year.
It's not streaming anywhere.
No, it will never in India. There are actually people like
Arey, but like on
legs being eaten by a human.
See, I would not watch that because I don't watch that.
Yeah, you didn't see Tumbad either.
I didn't watch Tumbad. I don't watch any horror films.
But Tumbad is
And
not horror.
Gore. I know. I've heard that it's not really horror. So maybe it's now on a streaming platform. So maybe I'll watch it. And during the day with all the windows open and like light coming in, and that's when I'll be able to feel comfortable enough to watch it. That's one of the reasons I stopped watching Sacred Games midway, is because it made me anxious. It gave me a lot of anxiety, and that's my shortcoming because I lose out on watching some.
Does that then affect? For example, if you don't know the movie has those emotions or gonna induce those emotion in you, and then you still go in theater as a reviewer, not as a
then
audience.
generally I don't watch those films.
But how do you know? That's what I'm asking.
Trailer,
when you don't,
whatever the trailer tells me, I follow that. Tumbad, I didn't watch even though it looked delicious. The visual and the style of, what I could tell from the styling from the trailer. But I can't. So I stayed away from it.
Okay.
Game of Thrones is the biggest pop culture phenomenon in recent times. Not watched.
Not watching it.
No.
Now, after I saw it and then it became sort of a job. Now every fucking...
It became a job.
Right now you have to watch it just because it's your...
To keep up.
To keep up and to understand bloody memes in conversations in your
correct.
friend circle.
Correct. But I'm okay not understanding Game of Thrones means. I'm okay. Yeah.
Anything that... I'm sure there are a lot of things, and I know some specific things also that troubles you in Hindi cinema especially. But I would still like you to talk. What are those things that troubles you immensely at this moment in Hindi cinema?
Obviously it's the most obvious thing somebody would expect me to say, but it's the female representation and the way it's done, because that's why I say we need more women telling women stories, not necessarily because women tell women stories better, but because there's more honesty when a woman is telling stories. I mean, you look at a movie like Padmavat, which is such a spectacle, such a delightful setting Sanjay Leela Bhansali has created. But in the end, after the Jauhar happens, he ends the movie on a note that says, "Ye Jauhar hi Chittor ki sabse badi jeet thi." क्यों थी? वो तो मर गई, वो आग में कूद गई अपनी इज्जत बचाने के लिए. That is not a jeep. That is very sad that something like that was the cultural norm in our country at some point. So that kind of troubles me. And then when you see movies where women are only viewed through the male gaze and women are only supposed to serve one purpose, which is to be Katrina Kaif in Thugs of Hindustan, that troubles me. Even though, like, she's gorgeous and talented and beautiful dancer, but give her at least 5 lines to speak, you know, which Bechdel test के बारे में तो खैर किसी को पता ही नहीं है, that you need to have at least 2 women with names and speaking parts who have one conversation with each other, which is not about a man. That's when a film will kind of cross or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, just women characters and the fact that they have nothing to do.
Okay.
In many films, in most of our films. That was a very long rambling answer.
I am completely of the opinion that women tell women's stories better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although
I said not necessarily better.
No, I think necessarily. It comes naturally.
Yeah.
Male will tell male stories better because the experience, the personal
Yeah.
experiences are such that it's by nature to us that we tell male
It comes
male
with, I mean,
stories better.
you know, there's more honesty there, ना?
Exactly.
Right? आप अगर सच्ची चीज़ें दिखाओगे तो वही जनता को देखना है आजकल. बधाइयों क्यों चल रही है? क्योंकि आपने honest film बनाई है, वो तो देख रहे हैं लोग.
Exactly. And that doesn't mean that males can't tell women's stories better or in a good way, or women can't tell. There's a beautiful story, Tom Hanks. I read an interview or saw an interview of Tom Hanks when he was making Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
Nora Ephron, I think, was the director. And she had a scene in that where he said he wants to go out on a date and he's going to take long. And he hasn't had date for almost a year or something like that. So his son cries in front of him. This was in the script. Okay, his son cries and he makes some sort of ruckus. So Tom Hanks decides not to go. Now that's the female writer and director writing that scene. Tom Hanks says that's bullshit.
Yeah.
If a guy is getting a chance to get laid, even if his son is crying, he won't care.
Yeah.
He will get a nanny, he'll sit him to a friend, he'll do whatever, but he'll go on that bloody date. And they change the scene. Now, these are the nuances that only gender roles can define or understand and put it in the script.
Yeah.
That makes the entire content better. But that doesn't mean that one gender can't tell. That doesn't mean Sleepless in Seattle was not good because of that scene.
Yeah.
That scene added a different layer. That scene added a male point of view to a situation that a female director was looking at from female's perspective.
Yeah.
Whereas Tom Hanks said, that's not going to happen. That's added the authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, talking of a more recent example, you just mentioned Lady Bird.
Yeah.
Now, again, that's a woman telling a woman's story. Why that film moved me so much was because I saw for the first time a teenage me represented in such an honest and true form on the big screen. Otherwise, kya hai? Mean Girls. I mean, even though, you know, a lot of that is also true. But then, like, teenage girls have always been like, bitchy, like cliquey.
No, everybody had, especially in those Hollywood teenage films.
Yeah.
They have every girl has a different role. And she has to live by that different role. Even
one
male.
is the bitchy friend, one is the sporty friend, one is the sexy girl, cheerleader. But, you know, this one had...
Even the guys, like one have to be nerd, one have to be a football player that will bully the nerd.
Correct.
And one have to be the nice guy who will never get a girl.
Then the nerd will get the girl. Eventually, the girl's going to turn around and be like, wow.
And a nerd will always get the sexy girl.
The sexy girl, correct. The cheerleader. So anyway, but Lady Bird was, you know, more sensitive to what it is like to be a girl growing up in a dysfunctional family.
But even as we said, the films are getting better year by year. Even there are more female filmmakers. This year has been more
Raazi.
than the last year.
Yeah. Raazi, like I was discussing this previously also. It's such a nice scene when Alia Bhatt and Vicky Kaushal are having sex that one night, the first time they do it. It is a very sensitive scene, and you know, Meena Gulzar treats it like that very sensitively, and it always remains Alia Bhatt's POV, even though it's not like she doesn't use obvious techniques like a POV shot. You know, it doesn't become that obvious, but it's still her point of view when the audience is her,
Yeah.
basically, and that it was very sensitive. It was nicely done.
It's nicely done, although I didn't like the film.
Oh, why not?
Especially kind of subject matter it was. It didn't have the treatment.
I really enjoyed it.
It's like as you have a spy, like I didn't feel the threat that the spy was supposed to feel.
Yeah.
And the anxiety and everything. And I was very angry, in fact, because I was expecting so much from the film. And then I went on and see, and Alia's performance also didn't impress me much. So I put out a GIF in Twitter. I've deleted that now. You have seen The Departed?
No.
Okay. So in Departed, Leo DiCaprio, the entire film is about two characters, DiCaprio's character and Matt Damon's character. They are sort of spies in the other party.
Yep.
Leo is the police officer who is with Costello.
Yeah.
He is shit scared of the job. Every moment he thinks somebody's gonna find his bluff, and there would be any second he'll be killed. So that threat of being found out and being
It's
dead
constant.
is constant on his face. And the way in this movie is handled, I understand what you want to do, but still,
You thought it was lacking.
It's a lot lacking. There were like two different moments.
Yeah.
Completely defined for the audience. Okay, now she is acting as the Bahu, and now she's acting as a spy. That personality of her being a spy, constantly being there.
Yeah.
I never felt that.
I guess so. You make a good point. Why don't you review films regularly, Vinit? Why don't you become a movie critic? I did it.
I don't want to do that.
I'm going to get so much hate on this podcast, by the way. People are going to be like, she doesn't know anything. She has not seen The Departed. How she gets the job? Somebody needs to fire her. Watch.
No, I don't think that's going to be it. I hope people take good things from it.
Oh, you read my comments. You know what they are like.
Many are good. Like a lot of people say they're learning a lot from cinema. That's all I want people to do. See, I don't want people to read reviews or watch analysis videos or read about film videos just for they think, they are now smart in cinema. The whole point of doing all this.
That's what I do also. I don't, when I'm reviewing a film or when I'm talking about a film, I'm not saying that I know better than you.
Exactly.
I don't. I just feel very strongly about films and I have opinions and I would like to share my opinions.
Exactly.
I am nowhere saying that I know better than you, yaar. No, I know less than you. You know more. Please, you should also write your own review. Do it.
My struggle, or in a way, I'm saying as a more elitist right now, but the disappointment comes out in a way that, yes, you watch so much and you read so much about cinema.
Yeah.
It should reflect in you telling the peers and the people around you to, you know what, instead of Race 3, let's watch Gali Gulia.
Yeah.
You know, if you do that, that would be the actual success of the reviewer.
Yeah.
Not like, Race 3 is a bad film and you enjoyed Sucharita smashing that film. That's not the point.
I don't like trashing films.
Nobody likes trashing
When I
films.
watch a bad film, it is so much more difficult to write.
I know.
About it.
There's a thing. No, I went through some of the comments. What was the film? What is the latest Harry Potter film?
The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah, and a lot of hate
Lots of hate from Potterheads. And I'm like, excuse me. Excuse. If there is one fandom that I proudly call myself a part of, it is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So I know what I'm talking about. But I don't know. Like, that's another thing. Fandoms are like people just hate.
Yeah.
You say anything about their favorite DC, Marvel, Harry Potter, Star Wars, they just hate.
Yeah, it's the tribal attitude that comes out.
Nah.
It's same with the football. You're a Manchester United supporter. I'm a Liverpool supporter. So I have
Just
to
for
hate
the
on
record,
you.
I am not a Manchester United supporter. I couldn't care less. I do not care.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you are part of one club, so you are bound to hate
the other,
rivals.
Anybody else.
Exactly.
But I like Harry Potter. But you saw a lot of hate comments under that. And I left a comment also saying, guys,
Yeah.
why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
It's a bad film. They didn't make a good film. I, of all people, wanted it to be a good film because I have rewatched everything, 8 Harry Potter films and 1 Fantastic Beasts film before this, like multiple times. Sab Netflix par hai.
I know.
सारी देखी मैंने
Prime
बार
पे.
बार. But
Prime.
नहीं, Fantastic Beasts is on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Harry Potter, all Harry Potters are on Prime.
wherever it is, I've seen them.
Which one is your favorite?
Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Book or movie?
Both. Tell both.
Okay, my favorite book is it used to be the fourth one, that the one with the trial wizard tournament, the Goblet of Fire,
Goblet of
Harry Potter
Fire.
Goblet of Fire. But then it's now the last one, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Okay.
Movies wise, it used to be the third one, Prisoner of Azkaban, because it was an Alfonso Cuarón film. That was my favorite. I didn't know कि ये क्या है Alfonso. जब वो picture आई थी तो मैं तो छोटी सी थी, कुछ भी नहीं. I was like in my teenage or whatever. Yeah, I was. When did that film come out? The third film. When did the films start coming out?
2001, I guess.
So the third film must be mid 2000s.
Yeah, 2004,
So I was
5.
like some 16, 17 years old at that time. So I had no idea Alfonso Cuarón kaun hai. But I loved that film. Later on, when I found out that this is the guy, I was like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I really, really like David Yates's first part of the Deathly Hallows. Not the second part so much, but the first part.
Same. I love the first part
Yeah.
way more
Than the second part.
Second part feels like and this is the conclusion. It's
Yeah.
like the climax, 2-hour
I think
long
that's
climax.
also something why I dislike it, because I didn't want it to end. I hate this film. This is the last film. But the first part was
But I
very nicely
loved the
done.
first one. The
Yeah.
setup, the conflict, it was so beautifully
Beautifully done.
handled. The pacing was so. Everybody says it's such a slow film and it
No,
goes nowhere.
the way they cut the book to make two screenplays.
That's
very
the
nice.
only film I think if it justified itself to split apart into two films.
Yeah.
Instead of that bloody Twilight shit.
I have not read or
I saw
seen.
first part of Twilight. Trust me, I took. It was saying it was a drag is an understatement.
मैंने तो नहीं देखी और पढ़ी भी नहीं.
I
उस
couldn't care
फैंडम में
less.
मैं घुसी ही नहीं. पता नहीं क्यों.
But they are as passionate about Twilight as
They are about Harry Potter.
Yes.
I am not surprised. I will not be surprised. Sorry, guys.
Yes. Have you seen any Harry Potter film in Hindi? The dubbed versions?
Yes, I have. And because I'm just that kind of a fan. I've watched everything that there is. And my favorite moment is in the second book, in the second film, pardon me, in the second film, The Chamber of Secrets, when Draco Malfoy gets in the Quidditch team, gets onto the Quidditch team because his father has bought everybody the Nimbus 2000.
Yeah.
2001, the new one, I think. 2001 it was. So he's on the Quidditch team, and then that shot where the Gryffindors are walking towards the pitch, but the Slytherins block their way because we reserved the Quidditch pitch for today. And then they get into an argument. And then Draco Malfoy calls Hermione Granger a mudblood.
Mudblood, yeah.
In Hindi, it is Vahiyat Badzat.
Badsat, yeah.
So then, in the English version, Ron tries to hex him. And because his wand is broken, the hex backfires on him and he says, eat slugs.
Yeah.
Right? Eat slugs. And then he only gets attacked. In the Hindi one, it becomes jhinge khao. Which is my favorite moment. Jhinge khao.
Some of the spells, I loved it. The way they translated from English to Hindi.
Yeah.
It feels so organic and
Yeah.
natural. They used to be the dubbing of Hindi English films in Hindi used to be way better in 2000s than in 2010s. 2010 it feels like.
Why is that, you think?
I have no idea. I can't.
Have you
pinpoint.
seen the Jungle Book, the first one that came, and then
the
Mowgli?
Disney one?
The Iron Man wala director kaun hai?
Huh, the Disney. That's the
What's
Disney
his
one.
name?
John Favreau.
John Favreau's Jungle Book. You
Yes,
saw? Did you see the Hindi dub?
I enjoyed it immensely. No,
Did
I
you
saw
watch
the
the
English one.
Hindi dub? Is very
Really good?
Very good.
Okay, I think it's available on.
It did a lot of business in India.
Oh, it's so much.
'Cause
I saw it in Ghatkopar. and
The
I-
Hindi dub was just that good. Priyanka Chopra, Nana Patekar of, a couple of years ago when it was still acceptable to watch his films.
I think it's why is it not acceptable?
Because
to
I'm
watch
just
his-
angry. I'm just mad. I'm just mad. Whatever.
I think his film should be accessible, even though the man is not.
No, I'm not saying take down his films. I'm saying, I wasn't mad at him back then.
Yeah.
I am now.
But you know what? I was watching Jungle Book in Ghatkopar. They had an interval of almost 40 minutes.
Why do theaters do this? It's so irritating. You're taken out of the experience entirely.
Completely. We forgot what movie he had come to watch.
Yeah.
And throughout this
Ruins the
interval,
whole experience.
throughout the interval, because it's a kids' film, throughout the interval, the only advertisements that were running were
Bachcho wale
either
ads.
chocolate or
Yeah.
diapers. I'm like, what the
Many
fuck is
popo
happening?
pants. So annoying. Yeah, I don't like it when people do that. When theaters do that. But have you seen the new one, Mowgli?
Yes.
And?
Hated it. Hated it to the
No.
bones.
No.
Yes. I hated...
Andy Serkis.
I love Andy Serkis, but this is just unbelievably
अरे यार,
trash.
मैंने तो देखी नहीं अभी तक. But देखूंगी मैं.
Especially the kid. It's like...
Mowgli?
Yeah.
Oh.
When your inanimate objects are acting better than the live a person, I'm like, oh my god.
Why was this film necessary is my question.
That's the first question. Because Netflix के पास इतना पैसा है कि चलो फेंक दो
क्रिश्चियन बेल के साथ
150 करोड़ रुपए बैटमैन को बगीरा बना दो.
क्यों बनाया ये फिल्म जब अच्छी खासी एक जंगल बुक सुपर सक्सेसफुल अभी आई है 2-2.5 साल पहले. What was the need for this film?
It's the same need that Spider-Man needs to be rebooted.
But these are two different. Spider-Man needed to be rebooted, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
There was no need for Spider-Man to reboot.
Sony has had 3 different Spider-Man. Yeah. And many, yeah.
3 different males, 3 different human Spider-Mans, and now we have a Spider-Verse in animated version
which
also.
has multiple spider
There
people.
were multiple
Spider people.
So what do we do now? Like that's the way popular cinema is going.
Yeah.
It's all episodic. That's why one of the reasons I hate watching franchise, because for me it's just become... It's just for me. I'm not saying it for everybody else. For me, it become a television on big screen.
You know what the comments are going to be in this video? I'm only thinking of comments. They're going to be Vinith should become movie critic and Sucharita should stop. So Vinith, Anupama Chopra, please hire him to become not a movie review because he knows so much more. I agree, guys. I agree.
No, that's not the case.
No.
But that's one of the reasons. Star Wars, I was never a big fan of Star Wars.
Yeah, me neither.
Even the very first one, people went so
mad
over.
Bhi nahi hai yaar.
And it's not necessary to watch it either, trust me. But Empire Strike Back, really good movie. Yeah. Really good film. Okay. Everything after that, not even good.
The only franchise I've ever been invested in is Harry Potter, film-wise.
Yeah.
Nothing... Well, the Avengers. You know, the first Avengers film is one of my all-time favorite films ever. I've seen it many, many times. Because it was such a new thing when it first came out all those years ago. Ki, bhai sahab, ye to crossover, maze hi aa gaye. Uske baad every film became an Avenger film. All the Captain America films are Avenger films. Little fatigued. So by the time Infinity War rolled in, like abhi ho gaya thoda.
Abhi bahut ho gaya.
Calm down. But abhi the next one, the trailer has been very good. Endgame, that they're calling it right now, the teaser trailer that's out. I'm like, I still want to watch it. I still really, really do want to watch it. Yeah.
But what do we do? Like, it's more...
Because now I'm just so invested in the characters. You know, Marvel has done what it has done very well.
Yeah.
I'm very invested in the characters. I want to know how Ant-Man gets out of the quantum realm. I want to know where is Thanos after he has snapped his... Is he on a different planet? I want to know how Guardians of the Galaxy are going to come back to life because they're making a new film.
I always thought Thanos... before Thanos, everybody knew... I'm not as big on comic book films and I'm not much invested in Marvel Universe either, so I didn't know who Thanos was.
Yeah, me neither. Until I saw the film.
Yeah, I thought Thanos was Galactus.
I have no idea who Galactus is.
I know. Have you seen anything regarding Silver Surfer?
In the Fantastic Four universe, which shouldn't exist in my opinion.
So Silver Surfer, I think Silver Surfer is the employee of Galactus. Galactus is the one who eats planets.
Oh yeah, I've heard of a supervillain who eats planets.
Yeah,
maybe
so
in some
Galactus.
like animation movies, old.
There used to be series on Fantastic Four, animated series on Cartoon Network.
I used to like that.
Yeah, I loved Cartoon Network.
Yeah, very bad animation. But
No,
really
they
fun
were good
stuff.
animation. What I think.
It was nice. It was fun. The Thing. Yeah.
Any other? I'm sure you have interest outside your film review realm. Does that spill over in your work of film reviewing? Ever? Consciously, unconsciously?
I'm pretty sure it does, you know, because at the end of the day, मैं ही बोल रही हूँ, मैं ही लिख रही हूँ. ये मुझसे लोग पूछते, do you write your own reviews? I'm like, no. I hire somebody to write my reviews and I present it because I'm so beautiful. So I've been hired only to present. Of course, I write my own reviews, guys. ये कैसा सवाल है? बहुत लोग पूछते हैं. I'm pretty sure, yaar, you know, I enjoyed Dhoni very much because I like Dhoni, the cricketer, and that I'm not so invested in Indian cricket anymore as I used to be when Mahendra Singh Dhoni was doing all the things that they showed us in that film. Even though many people did not like the film and they said that it felt like Bhagwan Puja, but I really enjoyed the film. Maybe because I
Yeah, you're a fan of this.
I'm a
But
fan.
then you are the target audience, right? That's how cinema is going. It's
Yeah.
catering to its target audience.
So yeah, maybe sometimes my interests to like Harry Potter. You know, I will watch a Harry Potter film and I will be more invested in it than just as somebody watching a film. You know, equality and women, and I get that a lot. That why are you watching the film from a feminist lens always? Because I watch everything from
Yeah.
my personal lens. That's how
It's
that's my
impossible.
life.
Impossible. Like, for example, I'm a non-believer, so whenever there
Yeah.
is a reference to God or
Yeah.
godly powers,
Yeah.
it sort of gets me.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, I mean, my real life spills over into what I'm talking about in my reviews. Yeah.
It is almost impossible.
It's impossible to keep it separate. You
Yeah.
can't do it. Cannot do it. Accounts thodi hai. You know, it is not like that. It's not math.
But then, how on you get a lot of hate?
What?
You get a lot of
I
hate
do.
on both Twitter and on Facebook.
Not so much on Twitter, not even so much
So
on Facebook.
not Facebook,
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Has the time has now come that where you completely ignore it, or does that
Yeah. No, it still affects me sometimes.
affects you?
Yeah. Sometimes when people really cross the line and say something, like during the Fantastic Beasts review, the comments under that really got to me. I was like, guys, so usually I'm like, tum to troll ho, I am going to ignore you. But under that review also, when people were saying things like, she really doesn't know what she's talking about, I'm like, no, this I know what I'm talking about. But am I still not pleasing people?
But that's the thing. As a critic, you're not supposed to please.
Then the next thought in my head is, I'm not supposed to please people.
Exactly.
Then I'm like, okay,
There's a
coming
thing-
back next week, watch me.
There's a thing. A lot of people who are listening right now will not agree to it, but it's a psychological fact. Most of the people, it's very, very inherent in us that we approach something with a strong confirmation bias.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when I am, but the point then is the flip side is, if I'm watching your review, I will watch it most of the time when I've already seen the film, okay, or the intention is already to like the film. So for example, let's take the upcoming movie. By the time this podcast is out, the movie will be already released. Zero. Yeah. So many of Shah Rukh's fans who hasn't yet seen the film, they want to like the film.
Of course.
Okay. So if you, let's say, predicting,
Vinith is predicting. Yes. What are you predicting?
let's say, when you will give it a bad review.
I am predicting I will love it.
Okay. So when you will give it an average review.
Let's meet midway. Yeah.
So a lot of people will hate on your reviews solely because you didn't give it
They're
a
Shah Rukh
great
Khan
review.
fans.
Yeah, out of their love for Shah Rukh Khan, which has
Correct.
nothing. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But the confirmation bias dictates that you want to approach everything from the perspective that you want that to. You want others to also like it.
Yeah.
Say good things about it because
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's how most of the film review from audience are approached in that way.
Yeah.
And that's completely against the ethos of film criticism or any sort of criticism. The whole point of criticism is that a critic will challenge your personal bias towards any particular piece of art. If I like, let's say, Raazi, you say you like Raazi.
Yeah, I do.
And then a critic comes out and says, these are the issues with storytelling. These are the
Yes.
issues with the character development.
Yes.
These are the issues with what is the film has advertised to be
Yes.
in a particular genre, but then it didn't do even the basics of that genre.
Yes.
Then on those basis, bad film.
Yeah.
But because you loved it enough
Yeah.
that you will say, oh, you don't understand anything.
Yeah.
Or you are too critical. You are too negative.
No, but Santi, that is the conversation that you need to be having with people. No, that is the kind of nuanced or patient conversation that the internet doesn't
doesn't allow.
doesn't give you the space to do it. It's a one-way conversation.
Exactly.
I am talking at you, and a few hours later, you are talking at me in the comments. We are not participating in a conversation.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to, and also because see, YouTube पर हम 4 मिनट में एक मूवी का रिव्यू कर भी दें, उसमें आप एकदम हर एक पॉइंट को डिटेल में समझा नहीं सकते. You can only make your points and try and explain why you're making those points. I can do a review in 30 seconds saying this movie sucks because this has happened, or this movie is amazing. Walking out of the theater, I can hold a phone to my face, right? People do that. You do you. It's the internet's free. Jo karna karo. So I can do that. I can walk out of the theater with hold a phone to my face saying, guys, I really enjoyed this film and you have to go and watch it, etc., etc. But when we're taking a couple of hours to write a review and we're going to take 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes to explain. So you can make multiple points, but you can't really explain every point in detail then also.
Yeah.
And then people will come at you in the comment section, and then there's just thousands of comments, and it's just not possible to reply and explain to everybody. My Aquaman review that just came out, by the time this podcast is out, the Aquaman review would be 2 weeks
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. But my opening comment in that review is, you know how long I've been waiting to watch a Jason Momoa shirtless? Since 2016. Because 2016 Batman v Superman came and they first teased that Jason Momoa is going to be Aquaman. Now the comment that I'm getting under that, as you would expect, is, oh, if a guy had said, you know how long I've been waiting for a woman to be topless, it would have been, you would have killed me. Now, see, it doesn't work both ways. When you have this conversation with somebody, then you explain how gender roles work, how the power structure works, how the male body is not censored and the female body is censored always. Women are not supposed to be proud of their bodies. Men are supposed to own their bodies. That's a very detailed, nuanced conversation that the internet doesn't allow you to have.
Absolutely. Not just internet. There's nuance is sort of internet, especially social media platfors, are eradicated nuances from any discussion.
I guess so.
It has to be either black and white. Sorry.
Black. In a manner of speaking. No, you're right.
That's why I said let's do this.
Yeah.
Where we can have a detailed discussion on any point.
Yeah. So we try to do that at Film Companion also on Mondays when the three of us have time to sit together.
I think you should go beyond 20 minutes. 20 minutes is too less. Less. Yeah, it's nothing. 20 minutes is nothing.
Okay. I'm going to tell the guys that this is a special request coming in from Vinith. Go longer than 20 minutes. Yeah. No. If you let us talk, we will talk for 2 hours.
That's fine. And whoever is handling the camera, please ask them to get a tripod.
Point noted. Yes, I will.
Okay. I think it's time to conclude. We have been speaking for almost an hour now.
Yeah.
I really wanted this to go even longer.
Yes.
There are so many things to talk and so many things to discuss, but time doesn't allow. And many of the people must be bored already.
And, we welcome your comments.
Okay, so we'll conclude it with now 2019 is there.
Yes.
What do you expect?
I don't know. I'm not going and expecting anything. I'm just...
What would you like to happen in 2019?
Vinith, I'll tell you this. Watching a film is my most cherished experience of the week. Uh-huh. I look forward to going to movie screenings. And if there's no screenings, I look forward to buying that ticket. Because when you settle down in that chair and you know that for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, you're just going to be lost in someone else's vision. That's why bad films are that infuriating, because I invest so much and I just shut everything off and I was like, I want to watch what John Abraham is going to do with these bad guys. Uh-huh. Like I'm really interested. So that's my most cherished experience. So my expectation is that I will continue to cherish that experience. Show me films. Make good films, make bad films. I will talk about films, make films. That's my expectation, that I'm just going to watch as many films as I can.
More world cinema this time at least.
Stop it! Stop! Movie.com पे सब्सक्राइब करो, वहाँ पे बहुत सारा वर्ल्ड सिनेमा है, बहुत अच्छा.
All right. Okay, Sucharita, thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Okay, this is the first episode. I hope...
I feel so special. I'm your first guest.
Yes.
This is Coffee with Karan.
Nothing.
Ka sasta version, not even close.
Discount coffee with
even close.
With no Karan. Thank you very much, Sucharita.
You're very welcome, Vinith.
Have a very good day.
Okay, bye.
Hey guys, thank you very much for listening. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and check out the other videos as well. And if you want to support the channel, then you can head over to Patreon, where you can pledge $1 or $2 to keep the channel going. Trust me, anything and everything helps. Keep watching and I'll see you next time.